Welcome back once again to another Season 2 viewer game analysis. This one is going to be of an Ares, and he's currently a support player. He doesn't tell me what division he's in, which is fine. It's a long game, and I asked him, how do you think he played? I played fairly well. Okay, what aspects of the game did you struggle with? How to play against certain gods? Okay, and what aspects of the game did you feel comfortable with? Rotations, farming, and all-around supporting. Well, we'll have a little look through and see what we can actually see out of your gameplay and see what we can learn about you as an individual. Well, let's look at the early stages of the game. Stop right now, thank you very much. I need someone with a human touch. The lane matchups, let's talk through them right now. It's going to be a Geb that you're in lane against. You're probably against either a Loki or a Poseidon. I'm probably going to say it's Loki because of the fact that Poseidon's their only mid-god really that's there. It could be Loki in the mid lane. I'm expecting in this matchup Thor's jungle. This is before you even looked. Thor's in the jungle. Loki is in the duo lane. Poseidon's mid. Sun Wukong solo. So I'd expect Loki is going to be in the solo. And he's going to be Loki Geb. So why are we going Vanguard? Why are we going Vanguard here? That's the first thing you want to be thinking about. Is there a reason to go Vanguard in this matchup? No. What's Vanguard do? Give you protections, give you HP, give you damage reduction. Is this lane got kill potential against an Ares? Hell no it doesn't. What's your lane partner? Your lane partner's Cupid. Do you two have kill potential onto this enemy team? Hell yes you do. Now you're either going to play the super aggressive with the Vanguard, or you're not going to abuse the Vanguard enough in my opinion. What you could be looking to do here is abuse the situation of the really bad matchup they have and get Watcher's Gift. Get your gold generation going. Get yourself some extra gold online. You're going to have good sustain out of it as well because you're going to get some mana and health back every single time minions die. You could have used the Watcher's Gift here. It would have been more effective for you. Let's look at your wall placements though early on and see what actually happens here. Where do we place our wards? We replace one at this camp here and we place one here. Now the wall placements, guys, in Season 2 can change a little bit, okay? This is the thing you want to be thinking about a little bit more about where you probably want to place the wards, what sort of impact they're going to have. I'm still okay with this ward here. This ward is still a good ward on the map. It's still going to give you vision of them rotating for their purple buff and how soon they're going to do it. But this ward here, a little bit less useful. Why is this one a little bit less useful? Well, this one was here for the mid-harpies more than anything else, to see the rotations for the mid-harpies and when the support... So when the mid laner and jungler went through for the red buff in the early stages. But now that doesn't happen when the mid laner and jungler go through for in the early stages, and these harpies don't get taken. So is this ward really useful? It's not really. Where else could it have possibly gone that could cause, you know, some better situations for yourself? Well, you could place it more on the backside here. On the backside could actually help you out a little bit more against early invades coming through from the enemy team. Which is a potential late invade, because putting the ward here covers you, just so you understand why I'm saying here and not here, is by putting this ward here, if they rotate around mid lane through here, you can see them doing this rotation to come and gank you for the buff at the start of the game. If they're waiting in the camp here, you won't see them rotate here. If you have the ward here, you won't see them run down mid and through this angle, but having it here actually covers this option into your base, into your area of influence, and then obviously this hand side is the more unlikely side that they'll invade from, but if they did do that one, hey, you can't guarantee every single option with only 2 wards. The other place you could have potentially put a ward, but is very difficult to get to, is probably somewhere around here. I wouldn't mind seeing a ward here, placed by supports earlier on. I think actually if you run straight out of bed and placed a ward here, straight out of base, I should be saying, and place a ward here, I think this one will be more useful to your team. Why? Because you'll be able to catch the early rotations from the jungler from the solo lane, coming through to your mid lane, protect your mid lane a little bit more, at the same time as then place one here. But then it's quite a bit of an early game, you know, plan from the support to do both those wards. It's doable. Can you get back to base in time? Hell yeah, you can. But we'll see if you actually can in this one. Yeah, with your starting multi-pots as well, I mean, that second ward could have been placed there quite easily. You would have had time. If you were planning on staying the whole time, which it looks like you were doing those 5 multi-potions. Consider the option of multi-potions, though. I don't know why people are still picking these ones up. Multi-potions are not good. I'm saying they're not good because look at how much health and how much mana you get. Just so you understand, a multi-potion gives you 125 health and 75 mana over 25 seconds. Well, this gives you 250 health over 25 seconds on a health pot. This gives you 150 mana over 25 seconds. So what you're actually getting is half a health potion and half a multi-potion that both pop at the same time. But what that means is that you're not getting as much sustain out of them as you could from one health potion or one mana potion. And you're actually popping them for one reason or another. You're never really going to pop a multi-potion just because because you're low on mana and low on health. Most of the times it's going to be popped because you are low on mana or you are low on health. You're not going to pop them for both at the same time. It's very unlikely. So they're not as useful as you think. Consider like the fact that you had all this time at the start of the game where you kind of wandered. You could have gone back to base and just got health and mana potions if you so chose to. They would have been a little bit more effective. If you're not worried about using too much mana in the lane or taking too much damage in the lane with the Vanguard, you could have gone back, had a couple of multi potions still, and just picked up some mana potions or just some health potions. So because of your early ward, while you're doing this buff, you'll be able to see that it's going to be a Lokian lane, which we kind of predicted, which is good news. Now, Ares has a very good matchup against Geb, because Geb can't roll out when he's been changed up. There's not a whole lot Geb can do against an Ares. Also take into account you're saving flesh as well. It's knock-up immune. Knockback immune, but it's also knock-up immune. So if he actually does hit you with the shockwave, you're not going to get knocked up by it. You're actually just going to stand there and continue saving fleshing. So there's nothing that Geb can do to you in this matchup that's going to cause you issues. You have to remember that and abuse that situation where you can. Same again, Loki has to get in range to use his decoy. If you can land a chains on him, you're going to take some damage on him quite happily. I like the fact that you pushed up here in this situation early on. You put the aggression on and zone them out. Don't feel like you have to push this wave. You don't have to push the wave, okay? Pushing the wave is something that doesn't need to happen as much anymore. You actually give them more potential of farming this wave out. If you don't understand what I mean by this zoning thing, check out the Zapman guy that's currently out there, the Zapman game, where he currently zones them off experience early on. Lucky with the chains. The thing with the chains though there, I mean you didn't have to chains there, it was unlikely you were going to get all 3 chains off, they would have just backed away. You would have got like 1 poke of chains. Try and make sure you try and use your chains when you've got kill potential, or you can get full damage off of them. Just to make sure they're more worthwhile on the mana that you're actually using to throw those chains out, and the cooldown that you're actually putting them on as well. That's better. However, what you did there was you spammed your chains a little bit more than you needed to. You could have just used them one at a time, been a little bit more patient with the chains. The longer you leave between throwing out the second chain and then the third chain, is the fact that he's going to do more damage overall. Take into account if you waited 1 second, or let's say just half a second, in between you throwing out these chains, okay? It means that by the last chain, your duration of 4 seconds resets every single time the chain connects. So your first second of damage is 5, basically this says shackles 4 seconds, it would be 5 seconds because you threw your last chain out 1 second later, and that would have meant that you would have done more damage to them, so it would have been 5 seconds duration, which means that your damage would have gone up a little bit more. You spam the chains, the cripple doesn't last as long, and neither does the damage. The damage isn't as much as it could be. Someone in chat saying we were in fast forward then for the chains. I don't think we were. I had them just a little bit too quick. I thought I might have been in fast forward, but I wasn't, so. Now the hog there that you just did, was there a reason to hog? Was there a reason to hog that? Are you looking to do something right now? It's 2 minutes 7 on the clock. Mid-harpies spawn at 3 minutes. But by using that hog in that situation, what's happened? Look at the cooldown. 90 seconds. It's 86 right now as we're paused. Is this going to be up for the mid-harpies? No. So you made yourself a situation at mid-harpies where you can't actually hog them. Your hog's not going to be available for them. Is that a detriment to your team? Kinda is, really, when you think about it. Was there a need to hog there? There wasn't really a need to hog. You had lane pressure. Those minions were still going to die. They weren't trying to gank or anything. You didn't have to use your hog then. I probably wouldn't have used the hog. If I was going to use the hog, I would have used it earlier on to make sure it was available for the mid-harpies. Now, with the leveling of your abilities, I like the fact that you're actually trying to level just the 1 and the 3. I don't think leveling the 2 is worthwhile in the early stages. You should definitely be trying to look for maximum damage. I'd probably be looking at maxing out my chain now that I've got 2 points into Saurian Flash. Obviously, the damage is still good on both of these. It's 20 per tick on that, which is good. Plus is going to be, as well as you can see, is still only 1% of maximum health. If it was 2%, it'd be a bit better. But the chains is what you want to be maxing first of all, if you can, if you're good at landing the chains. Imagine if you had your hog here first of all. I would have gone down a lot quicker. You could have rotated a little bit earlier, and your team could have probably soaked up that golden experience. You could have been on this right-hand camp already, but they're going to get the right-hand camp. It doesn't necessarily mean that was all your fault, but you could have got more from that than you actually did. Good chain. Good. Better patience. Much better patience on the chains. That was really nice. And good damage onto him as well. Did you have your ultimate available there? Did you have an ultimate available? Let's just check that one out. Yeah, you were 5. We had the mana for this. Why didn't we just ult him here? We could have just ulted Thor, and it would have thought he wasn't even 5. Look at this. Look at this. This is something that you need to realize right now. This was potential for a kill, a free kill as well at that. You changed. You looked for the third chain, missed it, but then you should have ulted instead of Searing Fleshed. Why? Because you had a Giannis with you, and you also had a Ymir with you. They were backing you up. Watch them come. You can see they're still coming. So your first chain lands, which is good. Your second chain lands. When your third one misses, you get stunned. But now you could ult right now. The stun just ended, your third chain missed. Do you still have a kill potential here? Yes, you do. You pull him back into you, you can potentially get the kill. The problem with it, though, I can see as well, is that it does have a Poseidon. You're going to group your team up for a Kraken, potentially. But you could have probably got first blood if you would have ulted him here. Big rotation over to the right hand side. You can do this. It's not a big issue, but he's going to go back, unfortunately. So soak a bit of experience here if you can. No, why are we staying? Why are we staying? Why are we staying? Why are we staying? What are we getting out of this? What are we getting out of this? What benefit are we getting out of this? Are we earning experience right now? Are we earning gold right now? Are you some sort of one-hit wonder that you're going to hit this tower down to 0 in that amount of time? I don't think you are, buddy. I don't see you doing it. I need to find your button again. Oh yeah, I've lost you. There you go. But yeah, are you going to kill this tower? No. Chax, look at it like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't be here. There's no reason to be here. You're not getting any experience out of this. You've not earned a single bit of gold or experience right now. You best stay for this wave now, otherwise I'll be upset. Good, you stay for the wave at least. Rotating again. We've got 1200 gold on us right now. Could we be going back and getting boots? What can we go back with 1200? What can we get with 1200 gold right now? We can go back. We can get boots too. We can also get Blink 1 online. What does Blink give you? It gives you Ares' ability to jump in and use the ultimate. It's going to allow you to be able to be quite effective. There's a gank on the left hand lane right now. You're trying to rotate for it to try and help out your teammates. Luckily though, they're doing well. 2 kills down. You're going to be a little bit late to the party, but still, Loki's level 4. You should realise that right now. 1 chain. Oh, the second chain missed. Flesh him. Ult him. Ult him. You're out of mana. No! Could we have ulted if we chose not to Searing Flash? That's what I'm checking now. There is an ability in the game where you can actually go to... Can I show this on here? I think I can. You go to... one of these. It's under targeting. It's under user interface. Show health bar. Show mana usage. Turn this bad boy on, okay? If you're struggling with mana, turn this on and it will show you how much mana your abilities cost, and it will help you out to juggle how much mana you're using in these engagements. So I actually think you didn't have the mana by the looks of it. I don't think you did. Not sure, maybe. We've got 160 now. This costs, what are we at, rank 2, 75. Don't think you had the mana, I'm guessing, otherwise you would have done it. How much mana did that just cost you? It's costed you 60 mana. Well, you could have ulted. You could have just ulted. Would you have been able to kill him if you ulted? Yeah, because you would have dragged him back towards the Ymir. You and Ymir would have been able to pick him up. Oh, Cupid was there too still. Yeah, he was dead. He was definitely dead if you would have just gone for the ultimate instead of the Searing Flash. Bit of a shame. Now everybody's gone back to base here. You're not going to get a kill on him. you potentially should just push this minion wave in and look to recall yourself. Pick up these 3 creeps and get out of here. You're overextended, there's no ward coverage, there's no reason for you to try and zone him off the creeps. There's always a chance of a rotation coming in from the enemy team. Why is there a chance of a rotation coming in from the enemy team? Right now, you don't have vision on this Poseidon. Even though he's showing in lane here for you on the map, on the minimap here, you don't actually see him, because Giannis is too far away to give you actual vision. There's no minions here. You don't know where Poseidon is. You do know your red buff's up. You do know your purple buff's up. So where should the enemy team be right now? The enemy team's probably going for the red buff. They're probably going for the purple buff, or at least some of them will be. Why? Because they need to be dropped down. Where are you? Pushed up to their tower. Are you potentially able to be killed here? Yes. Why? There's a Thor, there's a Poseidon. Will they kill an Ares? Hell yes, they will. Ultimate wasn't as good as you were really looking for. If he would have landed all 3 chains, it would have been good, but a bit unfortunate. Go back, do your purple. Biggest issue with you right now is you've got 1600 gold, you've still not been back to base. You are now out of mana as well. I hope you recall after this. You should be recalling now. Cool. Good decision to recall then, at least then. You got your reinforced boots online. What else did we get? Did we get anything else? Okay. We went Hog 2. Now, going for the Hog 2 here, I probably would have said not get the Hog 2. Reason being is that you don't have any wards on the map. You don't have any ward coverage, you've got no protection. So having Hog 2 in this situation, what's Hog 2 going to get you? Nothing realistically right now. You want to probably be going back, getting some wards online, spend that 300 gold there. Probably some wards, and yeah, you could have got some wards and some health potions, I would have said, or mana potions. I don't think health's really been an issue for you. I would have probably gone 2 mana potions, 2 health potions, and then you could have sustained for quite a long time. Still would have had your reinforced boots online. Also take into account by the time you've rotated back to base here in this situation, these mid camps are about to spawn. You know this. You know this one's up very soon. You know they did those ones just after. So this recall should have happened a little bit earlier if you would have thought about it. Now you didn't back Harpies because you were too late for the mid Harpies. I don't mind this call. You should be able to try and get to the right ones and see if the right ones are up, but you're just going to go back to lane because there's a gank coming on, which is okay. If you had some wall coverage, you could have seen this one coming. You don't know where Thor is. You've got no map vision right now. Why don't we just chain him? Why are we not chaining him here? We just chain him. Just chain him, he's dead. Gab is really bad against Ares. There's nothing Gab can do against an Ares. You should just have 3 chains on him already. This guy should be dead already. He's going to die anyway, but he should have died a lot earlier. Should have died a lot earlier. Because if he would have died earlier, then you could have turned your attention to Loki a little bit more. Don't be scared to just ult him. Good job. Pull him in. Throw out those auto attacks. Body block if you can for him. Look for Thor. Look for Thor. Why don't we just go for Thor here? We could have changed Thor up there. Put some more free damage out. We've pushed up, so why are we staying? Are we going to kill a Thor on the tower? Probably not. Will Geb be back in time? Yeah, he will. Imagine if you had a ward now, it'd be really cool to be able to place that down, right? Where are you going? We're your adventure time and we're checking the red buff? Look at your red buff. Before you go adventure timing around this sort of area, always look at your red buff to see what timing their red buff should roughly be on. If you notice, they're always going to be pretty similar. Like half an amount. I was going to say like an eclipse, but it's not an eclipse, is it? It's like a moon phase or something. You're rotating around here, you're not really getting anything. What you are doing though on the left hand side though, you can see that Cupid's in trouble. See here, Cupid is in trouble, but you're busy rotating mid now. Good chain. Well then, you ate a Kraken. That's all there is to say about that. You got a Kraken for a chain. Worth. Where we going? We're just randomly wandering. We're going to find back Harpies. Cool. Base time. Wards and Hog 3. I expect now. Wards Hog 3. Oh, and a sentry. Nice sentry. I like the fact you picked up a sentry. You realise Golf Fury is an opportunity now that you've got Hog 3 online. It only takes half an hour to kill a buff his Ares, don't worry. Drop sentry, boys. Now what I would have done here is first of all just press tab to make sure that Geb doesn't have a sentry on him before I drop mine. This is one thing that you should always do. I don't know if you did this, but you should always check to see if he does have a sentry. If he does have one, then you drop it. Yep, drop the sentry if you can. You know Thor might be up in the air here, potentially, so you're going to probably back away, I guess. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I was all about everything you just did in this engagement, with going over here to ward first of all, so you don't get collapsed on when you're trying to clear out the sentry. I thought that's why you warded first of all. You warded there and there, because I expected... Sorry, you warded... Let me just bring it to assisted, so I can actually do it properly. Bing. So, you warded here, and you warded here. I was okay with both these two wards because it looked like you were just defending yourself when you dropped the sentry. But then you don't even use your sentry here, which is where it should be, honestly, to make sure you've got full vision of this. Instead, you dropped it on the backside to try and clear out their vision. I like that sentry ward, but at this stage of the game, you want to be warding here more than anything else. Make sure you get full control of the Gold Fury, because if you do get picks, like you have been doing in this left-hand lane, then you can put the pressure down onto this earlier on. Let's get back into proper view. 3 chains a little bit faster than they needed to be. You could have kept that cripple on a little bit longer, a little bit more damage could have been output from it as well. So at the moment, even though you went back and you bought all those wards, one of them is being wasted right now by having that sentry where it is. Chains? 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 You were looking for Loki too much. There was still an ability just to pick up Gab there for free. Don't be scared to throw out your ultimate in that situation too, when he popped Fields of Love. It was a free pick. That was a nice change, but now you're dead. Dive in the tower. You tried to make up there, and that ultimate was not a good decision either. Now, what you tried to do here is when Cupid used his ultimate over in this area, you should have ulted immediately. Why? Keep them inside the Fields of Love. Keep them inside it so the full damage potential goes off. Worst case scenario, you get Geb ultimate, and you might even get beads off Loki if he's got them. Yeah, you might get the beads off Loki, which are both good things to do. So you should have ulted the moment that happened, and I would have been allowed to do it. Dive in the tower to try and make up for it. It was a good pickup, but the problem is that you had ward coverage. You could see the rotation from Poseidon mid. You knew the rotation was coming from behind, and so you probably shouldn't have done that there. Here's a prime example. If they realise this whole situation right now, Geb does have Hog 3. Could they have gone for the Gold Fury with you being dead? Yep. They could have gone for Gold Fury there. What could your team have done about it? Well, they could have tried to cause some issues, but you're the only one with a Hog 3 on your team right now. You have to think about the stage of the game that you're in and what your role is in the game as well. If you die there, they have a potential to pick up a Gold Fury. Was it worthwhile for a kill on Loki? Probably not. Why? Because Loki at the moment, if you see, is still 1 and 2. He's still not even that big. It wasn't really worthwhile. We went back though, we started working on sovereignty some more. I didn't see you pick up another ward. I would have liked to have seen a sentry ward picked up, just to clear out the Gold Fury and have full control of it. Which you wouldn't have needed, because you would have had a sentry there already if you chose to. We also have the potential to go and get Blink, which is a possibility as well. We could go back and get Steel Mail right now. We should probably wait for this wave, and then I'd probably be looking to back. Actually, I know mid-camps are coming up. I'd be looking for mid-camps right now. Mid-camp boys. Mid-camp boys? Yeah, mid-camp boys. Let's go. Bad news is mid-camps are down. Why not just throwing chains on him there? You see that? You've got opportunity just to throw chains on him and deal damage to him. Why not just do it? You've got so much damage with these chains, and there's no escape for him to do anything about it. You can just throw chains, chains, poke him down, force the shield on himself. There's free damage potential for free on him. There's no reason not to. You could have tried to abuse that. Instead, you're just kind of like chilling and watching each other. You're looking for a pick in mid lane by the looks of it. You're waiting for the engagement. You're trying to call it to a team. Chains don't connect, and that's a disengage on. You're going to get walled off. Be a better poke. And end up ulting, but you've got no one here yet. Oh, Ymir tries to make up for it for you, and he's going to be the one that pays the price. The iron price, as we like to call it, as the Kraken comes out. Ymir's going to die. You killed Ymir there. If Ymir dies, you killed him. And if you die, you killed yourself. Oh! You lucky boy. Lucky, lucky boy. So what should have happened here? What should have happened here? Let's watch it back. So, the moment you get walled off, you do this ultimate that's not really required. Look at where your teammates are on the map. Is Ymir and Giannis in position to follow up? What is this ultimate going to get you? What do they get out of this? What do you get out of this? Well, you get nothing out of this. Honestly, you get nothing out of this. You can still take damage when you're in your ultimate. You're still attackable. They can still get free damage off on you. Are they going to use beads here? No. Why are they not going to use beads here? Because you're closing the gap for them. You're bringing them towards you, which means they get free auto attacks off on you for free and bring you in range for free damage. So the ultimate is not a good idea. It's not going to help you out. It's actually going to kill you more than it's going to actually save you. Are you going to kill anyone with this ultimate? Nope. You're not even going to do that much damage because it's rank 2. Rank 2 at the moment, 275 damage. That's all you've got. You've not got magical Ares, you're tank Ares. So you pulled him in, and now you're like, well, crap. The good news is you may realise the situation and try to help you out. The bad news is that by you doing that, you've now set Ymir up to be like, well, poor Ymir. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, Ymir. It's my bad. I got caught, Ymir. Please. And now you're like, I must help Ymir. I should stay around and see if I can help him somehow. And in doing so, they then turn your attention back to you again, but you get out as well. You got lucky to get out. But what is going to happen from here? Can they do Gold Fury right now based off that? Yes, they can do Gold Fury right now. So why don't they just rotate around for the Gold Fury and do that? Good teams, better players, and I'm not sure if they do that right now, but players will do the Gold Fury based off that. Why would they do the Gold Fury based off that? The jungler's going to have to go back to base because he's got no HP. You're going to have to go back to base because you've got no HP. Plus, you don't have your ultimate available. Plus, you're the Hog 3 of the team. Does anyone else in your team have Hog 3? No, you're the only Hog 3. Does Geb have Hog 3? Yes. Thor also has Hog 2. Is there damage potential to bring down the Gold Fury big enough? Yes, it is. Will they go for Gold Fury? I hope they do, but they don't, unfortunately. Should you have lost Gold Fury there? Yes. Sentry 2 wards again. Sentry the same 2 spots, I'm guessing, over and over again. I don't mind those 2 wards. Those 2 wards are good. If we sentry here, I'm upset with you. I'm really upset with you. Stop sentrying there! We just discussed the Gold Fury! We just discussed it. I know this is all in the past, guys. Leave me alone. But the Gold Fury is something that you should be sentrying every single opportunity by this stage of the game. You should know your first one, not even your second one. This should be Gold Fury right now. As soon as he's dead, which he is now, Gold Fury. Gold Fury. Gold Fury. Gold Fury. Gold Fury. Why should it be Gold Fury? Look at the map, look at the situation on the map. Can Giannis come? Can Ymir come? Yes. Had you sent it to the Gold Fury right now, could you have gone over to the Gold Fury and started this one up? Could you have called your teammates to come to the Gold Fury and do it? Yes, you could have called them to come and do it, but instead you're just going to farm the lane against the Loki, and there's nothing else you're going to get out of it. It's a shame because you had a Gold Fury potential here. Your sentry wards, got to work on. With that, from this point on, I'm going to end the game here, Sirles. There's plenty of stuff in the early stages of the game that you can definitely work on doing to work out what you should be doing. Think about when you're choosing to back and when you're choosing to use your hogs. Make sure you get for these mid-harpy rotations a little bit quicker. Stop the aimless wander around the map as well. There's no reason to wander around here when there's nothing else for you to do. There's no reason for you to be there. You could have gone back a little bit earlier, been there in time for the mid-harpies, had your hog 3 online. When you're buying your wards, when you do go back and get them, make sure you get the sentry down at the Gold Fury. There's no reason to do this. This is great. Okay, in matchups where you're looking for your jungler to gank all the time for you to limit their vision. But it's not great when the Gold Fury is available at these stages of the game. When the Gold Fury is available, you should be looking to ward this one up and keep control of it for your team and stop the enemy team having presence around the Gold Fury. Good luck in your games though, Siddles. I can see that you've got potential, but you need to just abuse the situation a little bit more. Starting build against a Geb and a Loki, don't be looking for a Vanguard. Go watch his gift. Get some extra gold for yourself. Means you can use more wards, means you can get your itemized build online earlier. And with Ares, with those auras and the fact there's 2 auras you're going to be picking up in the early stages, Sovereignty and Heartward Amulet, it means you're going to get more damage output based off getting the Watcher's Gift. Only go Vanguard in these lanes if you're going to take a lot of poke damage in these lanes, or you're going to be in a fighting lane. Okay, if you're going to go aggressive in this lane, you could have eaten some poke with Watcher's Gift online. You still could have caused the same issues with having a Watcher's Gift. You didn't die, you weren't a threat of dying in these situations until you dive the tower. Good luck in your games up, buddy. Hopefully, you'll keep going forward.